I'd like to start with Dato Arif Siddiqui, Chief Digital Officer of Faisal Bank. Dato, you have been in the Malaysia or Singapore and Asia Pacific region for the last 17 or 18 years. You have been doing a lot of things that we are talking about today. So can you give us some of your wisdom and insights into what you have learned and what you think should be the way forward in Pakistan?
So I worked for Standard Chartered Bank for 28 years, and the last 17 years I was working in the Asia Pacific and CEO of a company in Malaysia and India, San Francisco and China, which is supporting all the technology initiative and innovation happened in Standard Chartered Bank across the world. So it was all developed in these centers, and I was the CEO of this center for last 10 years. I just moved to Pakistan and joined Faisal Bank. I can share some of the experiences of Asia Pacific. And now being a Pakistani, I can understand this culture as well and can simulate a little bit that what can work here on the basis of my experience over there. So last 5 years, if you can really see, there is a huge disruption is coming into, and usually the bank feels that, yeah, it's all discussion, but the disruption is really not there. But it is not in Asia Pacific. Over there, really, the big players has made a huge disruption where Alibaba and WeChat and some of the other, like Grab is one of the example I can give it to you, that this company, Grab. This is the company like Uber, competing with the Uber, like Kareem was competing here with the Uber as well. This company took over Uber. In fact, they not anymore Uber in 7 countries in Asia Pacific. So it is Grab took over all in Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia. And now this company got a $2.1 billion of investment from the SoftBank, and they have created a GrabPay, they have created a GrabFood, and amazing things I can see in the last 1 or 2 years, that GrabPay and GrabFood created million merchants in a 5 to 6 months.
GrabPay and GrabFood.
Yes.
This is food.
And of course.
Wow. 5 to 6 million?
1
million merchants?
1 million merchants.
In 6
created
months?
in 6 months. And what is the key in it? And that's the people have to understand here, in fact. What they said, 6 months, merchant should not pay a single thing. Second thing, they said thereafter it will be only 1%. Same day credit in your account. Merchants love that. On other side, 20% cash back if anybody going and scanning the QR code. So QR is the key in that area. I have seen that everywhere, even now in Singapore and Malaysia, the people are just scanning and paying. I was usually traveled Shanghai and Beijing. Nobody accept credit card, nobody accept the cash. You have to pay, you are forced to pay with the WeChat. So this is the things coming, and you can see this is coming towards Pakistan. And are we ready? Like my view is that the people, the infrastructure, how we are setting up, are we ready for it? And that will definitely come. So for banking industry, I can tell you, definitely the QR will be the key because it is for the merchants. It is very cheap for the merchant, in fact, and it's easy for the customer too. Second thing which I saw that working very well over there is which is microfinance or the nano finance or the crowdfunding. These are things very well working in that part of the world, and if the banks will not really do it now, the other players will take away from them. So 2 things you will see very soon. Bank, my view is that in the next 5 to 10 years, the payment will go away from the bank. And I am seeing it in the Asia Pacific, and that is the alarming situation probably for the bank. May not be the 5 years, maybe 8 years, but the payment is going away. The second thing which I can see is the small scale investment lending, because the way we as a banker think is all about how the scorecard is, and a scorecard is related to the how much the person is getting the money, whereas in a new format there is no such thing. A small nano payment is happening on the basis of the behavior of the person, not on the basis how much he earns. So this whole dynamics is changing across the world, in fact, and because of this, I think the bank has to start thinking about it. And the third thing is, which particularly for Pakistan I feel is very important, which is remittance. There's a $21 billion remittance is coming, quite a bit of coming from Hundi. And it's a huge opportunity I can see for the banks to think about it and create the kind of environment where the people can be able to send the money. And I saw the Irfan was saying that it is not all about that people have to send the money, but how we can give the environment to them that we should support them for payment even in Pakistan, and insurance in Pakistan and all. So this is what I can see.
Dato, I think I would like to come back and discuss the remittance, because that's really a big piece. I want to touch upon some of the earlier ideas. You gave us the example of GrabPay and GrabFood. You said WeChat in China. So, and Jonathan has earlier mentioned there are some basics that we need. Dato, I want to come back to you. So Jonathan mentioned earlier about a single platform, a standard debit capability. I know that the region where you have lived and worked for a long time, they have those things built. Can you give us shed some light on what Pakistani businesses or regulators should do to get us to that level of high velocity? I mean, one example is coming from Moin Munib, but and something else needs to happen at the platform level as well.
I saw in a presentation of Jonathan, he mentioned PayNet of Malaysia. So this is something that PayNet is regulator developed it. So it is not like some company has done it. So in Pakistan, I think normally the regulator feels that we are here to regulate, or we are here for a policy. But in other part of the world, they take the responsibility to make sure that these things should happen. Mm-hmm. And even sometimes they create a subsidiary, or by themselves they do that. So I think a start has already happened in Pakistan.
Yeah.
This MPG is the start, where the payment gateway we are setting up. One link has started with the intention to provide a ATM gateway. We have modified to the so much, in fact, and now I can see is a risk also that we are having only the one payment gateway. So this is a great thing that State Bank of Pakistan is coming up, which is called MPG. MPG is a mobile to mobile payment. Anybody I can pay to another mobile. But this is a mechanism where you can set the standard. So I feel that moving forward, definitely this platform will provide the standard to the State Bank of Pakistan and rest of the others to come up on a one standard.
Okay, so the regulator has taken this initiative.
It has to happen. Like, my view is that his point is very valid, that without having a single standard, you cannot do lot of things. Because if lot of players, even think about everybody is having a separate QRs everywhere, how many the QRs will be on a table of the merchant?
Sure,
so the standardization is the key. And I feel that lot of things which is happening outside the world, probably I feel that here the regulator has to take the lead on it. Like shared KYC, we are bankers here. Is a huge problem here on a KYC.
Huge problem.
So if I am a banker of a Habib Bank or UBL and want to open an account with the JS Bank, why they cannot accept the same KYC?
Yeah.
It's a trust factor and the shared factor.
You've
So
just
my
given
view
Munib
is
his next company's idea.
regulator plays the role into it. Like blockchain is too far from Pakistan, but in other areas, the regulators insisting banks to participate in a use case of the blockchain.
Sure.
So my view is that good, at least we are started moving towards the single standard. State Bank is doing, the only issue I can see in Pakistan in the last 2 months, that we have to really think about our speed.
You've been here 2 months only?
Yes.
Okay. So you think we are not moving fast enough, huh?
That's what I can see, because MPG we have started a year back, and we just finalized the vendor in 1 year. So my view is that these things happens in 6 months in
Anyway,
other part of the world. By the way.
So I'm not going to leave my panel open just like that. So I will actually take these notes, and exactly in 3 months, I will hold another panel, and I will be asking the same questions, and I'll be tracking progress.